If we're on our phone, if we're rushing to co-op, if we're doing those things, they could tell that we're not listening. So we do need that time and that space that we are making for kids. That's often why 11 o'clock at night, when you are so
what is it about that?
ready,
Yes.
because they finally see like we are not, our phone's not in front of us. We don't have our computers on our laps. We're not sitting there grading their math tests.
Sometimes our kids do ask these really tough questions. And the beautiful thing about being homeschool family is that we do have time to kind of get in there and dig deeper. So what are some ways that parents can keep these lines of communication open and help their kids to feel safe asking, the tougher questions?
Yeah. And I think you mentioned the thing about time is that we have to have time. Now, sometimes we can fool ourselves, which I've done before, where we think we're here all day. They can just ask us the questions whenever they want to. Like, yeah, I could push aside the history lesson or whatever, but it's mostly time focusing on things that they're interested in talking about. And so I found when I take time to, like, I'm running errands and I'm going to take one child with me and then ask about whatever Mario Kart or whatever Nerf gun or Lego set, whatever they're interested in at that song that they like, they'll talk and talk and talk. And then it seems like the last 10 minutes before we get home, that's when the questions will come up. So if we're on our phone, if we're rushing to co-op, if we're doing those things, they could tell that we're not listening, we're not distracted. And so we really need to make those space. I've taken time for one of my kids or two of my kids where I just will take them away, sometimes overnight, sometimes out to dinner, and just having that time to have questions. And I'll talk about when I was growing up, and I'll lead things where we're going with different conversations that they can bring stuff up. But even like our last road trip, we just got back from Orlando. We're listening to 80s music in the car. Yes. And then we start talking about our teen years. And then we end up in some really, really good conversations about choices and about regrets. And they're talking about their things. So we do need that time and that space that we are making for kids. That's often why 11 o'clock at night, when you are so
what is it about that?
ready,
Yes.
because they finally see like we are not, our phone's not in front of us. We don't have our computers on our laps. We're not sitting there grading their math tests, and it's often more quiet, TV's off. And then that's where they finally feel like they can ask it. And so we could foster those times, but also John has been a trooper more than me. I'm like falling asleep in the couch, but taking that time, because he will go for an hour, whatever conversation.
That's amazing.
And this and that. And well, let's go back to the beginning. How did God create things? He does a better job at those late night things. I think I do a better job at like carving out, let's go. I'm going here. Why don't you come along with me? Let's spend time doing this. Even if it's just errands around town, that time that we're checking in, that we're spending there. And if they know that we're listening to the things that they're interested about, then they'll be more open to share about the deeper things, the deeper struggles, the hard stuff in their lives.
It's so good. And I guess like one of the things as you were talking that I was thinking about was that, a lot of parents are, they struggle with sharing their story with their kids, especially people who have kind of had, I don't know how to put it, like, more challenges.
Past that we don't want our kids to repeat our past. I'm like, right. How I did things. I'm like, yes, mom, we know. I was a teen mom, and it was very helpful that when they were, because with my first three, I was helping start a crisis pregnancy center and mentoring teen moms. And then with the younger ones, by the time we adopted the ones that we adopted as preteens and teens, they had read some of my books, so they knew all the
hysterical
things. And so they knew about my past. But now I can say, remember when I was a teen, like, we know. And I'm like, but listen, like, I wish I would have done. I wish my mom would have sat down with me. And I'm doing this because I love you. So it's not like a lecture so much. Sometimes they might say it turns into a lecture. But I really want to share because I don't want them to go through the same pain and the heartache. But if they do make those choices, I understand also, because kids aren't going to be perfect either, but they still struggle, So the more we can share our story where we're not perfect, and hello, we're homeschool parents. They know we're not perfect. They know
they get to see it.
that we lose our temper. They know that whatever, but the more we can be real and honest with our struggles, then they can come to us with their struggles. And I think that really can make a difference. And also even saying like, hey, if you want a sibling to come talk to me, we've had that before where one of our kids has had a struggle and they've asked an older sibling, can you come with me to mom and dad to talk? And
that's so sweet.
Just knowing that like, if you need a friend or sibling to talk to you, if you have something, we're here, we'll listen. Just letting them know that we're not going to immediately jump into preaching mode or condemnation mode, that we really care and want to be there to help and support them.
Yeah, no, because I know like even I think everyone has a past. If it is difficult when you feel like, man, I really blew it and I don't want my kids to repeat this, but maybe I don't want them to know, because if they don't know, what a mess I made of things or different choices that I made that I wish that I hadn't, then maybe they won't repeat it. But I think it comes back to just being honest and authentic and allowing our kids to see how the Lord worked in our lives, right? I mean, like God has I love your story. I mean, God had such a he weaved together this beautiful tapestry of your life. And so our kids get to hear that and see that when we share that with them. So
yeah.
I love
and
it.
Also, I think if we've made mistakes, we also have special radar for certain things. Because I'll be like, I have a special radar about that type of guy. I could tell. Like, Mom. And sure enough, I'm like, I don't want to tell you I was right. But because we made mistakes, we have awareness about things that can help them. Like, we're here to help them, support them, to encourage them, to help them make good choices. And then they're going to have to go live in the world where there is a lot of pain and heartache.
Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked Podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.